Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is Yahweh, God, who the world ignorantly calls God. His true name is Yahweh, Bahashem, in the name of Yahweh Shai. That is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, JC, right? So I'm going to be, and Salakia, for not being steadfast in these videos, right? When I make these videos, I'm talking first and foremost to myself, right? And let's get that right. In Acts 14 and verse 22, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? So, we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom, right? We can't be slack in this. I'm talking to myself first and foremost. And then I'm going to get 1 Corinthians 9 and 27, right? And Shabbat Shalom to all of you who might be watching. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Let's get the definition for castaway. A person who has been shipwrecked and stranded in an isolated place, right? So, what profit is it? You go on the highways and byways every Friday, every Saturday. You preach the word, right? And then, in the end, when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai returns, he said, get away from me, I never knew you. So that's all your work coming to naught, right? It's just a waste. So, right, so in 2 Peter 1 and verse 10, it says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall, right? And that goes hand in hand with 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, right? And rightly dividing the word of truth, right? You have to divide your day up. So in the morning, you get up, thank Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Because a lot of people did not wake up today. A lot of people woke up dead, right? Or a lot of people woke up dead, right? So you have to pray right when you get up. You have to pray before and after you eat. You have to read the scriptures. And adequate amount of time each day, right? And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. Read the scriptures an adequate amount of time every day. You have to get the word out somehow, some way every day, all right? You have to fast, choose some fast days, you know? So that's dividing the truth, right? You know, you have to divide, you have to give your strength, right? And this truth is easy, but it's hard, right? So I'm going to get this in Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. And it says, "And now, Israel, what doth the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, thy power, Salakia, but to fear the Lord thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul." Right? And let me see if there's more on that. Verse 13, "To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day for thy good." Right? So that's what the Lord requires of us, to make our election sure, to love him and to serve him with all our heart and our soul. Right? And another another thing that we have to do, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, right, is to not let me see. Salakia. Right. Salakia. So it's in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 3, right? It says, "Give no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as ministers of Yahweh, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, imprisonments, in tumults, and labors, and watchings, and fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, the Ruach HaKodesh, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of Yahweh, by the armor of righteousness, on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things, right? So this is what we need to do in this ministry, right? I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. The first point, give no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. So, right, if we are going out and about, acting in a very worldly manner, right? Like, say for example, you're at the strip club, right? And you get caught. That's going to give a point for the enemies to attack this ministry, right? They're going to be saying, why is this holy man of the Lord in a abominable place like that, right? And you will have no answer, right? And I'm gonna come back to this. Hold up. This is 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 15, right? But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man, right? So when we're on these highways and byways, we give out the judging, but we do not get judged, right? Because we are doing the will of the Lord, right? We can't be judged by these people on the streets, these scoffers on the streets, right? So this verse 4 through 10, right? These are the things that come with the ministry, and that's also in part of the dividing of the word, right? We have to have some watchings, we have to have some fasts, we have to have knowledge, we have to have kindness, right? To our people, of course, to the elect. And obviously we'll have honorable and dishonorable reports, right? In the world, right? If you just think about it, in the world, there's a bunch of people that see you as a good person, a good guy, right? Nice, kind, respectful. But there's also a lot of people, right, who view you as rude, evil, right? Even though you're not. Disrespectful, interrupting, right? And they might just still know you from the world. But even now, in this truth, if you tell somebody this truth, they're not going to want to hear it. And that's why you have a good report and an evil report, right? And, like, for example, right, it was camp last week, and there was this homeless elder, right? And I bought him a fry, right? I bought him a fry from the restaurant Five Guys, right? And I was telling him about our ministry, and he said, "Oh yeah, I had a Israelite cellmate in jail," and he told him about it, right? And it was all fine and dandy, right? Until he heard us prophesying the destruction of this country and crying aloud when we got our camp set up. When he started hearing all the screaming and yelling, he started walking down the street, right? And that's a lot of people will not hear this word, right? But we cannot sugarcoat this word. We cannot sugarcoat this word at all. Because if you sugarcoat it, you're taking out the harsh parts and you're putting in the sweet parts, and you're leaving it up for more interpretation, right? If you, for example, salvation, right? If you're breaking down salvation to somebody, right? Let's say you're breaking down salvation to an Israelite, right? And you tell them everybody is gonna be saved, right? You tell them everybody is gonna be saved, but everybody's going to be in the new kingdom, right? Everybody's gonna be in the new kingdom, but just Israelites are gonna be at the top, right? That's sugarcoating, because in reality, yes, everybody will be in the new earth, right? Because all spirits go to one place, right? That's Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 20. But we will be at the top because we are the saved people, right? Everybody else will be slaves under us, right? And if you explain it in a sweet, hickory type of way, then people are going to run off thinking and preaching the same message to an Edomite or a heathen, right? Oh, everybody's going to be saved. It's just our people at the top, right? And even then, they will not accept that as true because they want to be at the top, right? And that's actually in Sirach, right? And y'all think these white people like you guys. No, they don't. Right? This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 13 and verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. Right? I think there's more on that. Right? Verse 16. All flesh consorteth according to his own kind. Let's get the definition for consorteth real quick. Consort. As companion or partner.
Consort.
Right? All flesh consorteth according to his kind, or, right? So, all flesh is a partner or a companion, a friend to his own kind, right? And a man will cleave to his like, right? So, whites with whites, blacks with blacks, right? Asians with Asians. Right? Chinese with Chinese. Whatever. Everybody is with their own race. So you cannot trust the other race. If a white kid comes to the black table, they're gonna tell him to go away. Cause why are you with us? Go back to your white table. Right? I'm in high school, and these Ukrainians that came here, they all have their own table. The Asians, they all have their own table. The Venezuelans, they all have their own table. It's broken up. Right? So with that, I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom until the next video.